Hello, and welcome to Series 2 of my nautical adventure. This promises to be a fairly short series as I'm lacking any sort of motivation and really can't be arsed. However, backed by popular demand, here I am. I'm coming to you from on board Emma Maersk, one of Maersk's flagship vessels. She was built in 2006 and is capable of holding over 14,000 containers, which is about the equivalent of 34,000 elephants. I've no idea how they've worked that out, I'm just pulling figures off the company's website. She is 397 metres long and is longer than the Eiffel Tower is tall. When she was launched 10 years ago, she was one of the biggest ships in the world. Bigger ships have been built since, but they tend to go for two smaller engines instead of one big one. So to this day, she is home to the world's biggest diesel engine, the world's longest propeller shaft, and the world's largest propeller. It is currently day 40 on board, and we're somewhere off the west coast of Malaysia on our way to Sri Lanka. I joined the ship as it passed through the Suez Canal in Egypt. It is by far one of the dodgiest commutes to work I've ever had to make. The ship doesn't actually stop on its passage, so you go out to meet it on one of the small boats that ferries the pilots between the shore and ship, and as it passes by you literally have to jump on and forget about the fact that there's a very large propeller behind you, and if you fall in you might get blinded. Container ships follow set routes around the world, and this vessel's route is between Asia and Europe. Since I've joined, we've stopped in Singapore, China, South Korea, China, Hong Kong, China, and Malaysia. After Sri Lanka, we will head back north through the Suez Canal, up to Spain, France, and England, up through the English Channel to Belgium, Holland, and Denmark before the ship makes its return journey back down to Asia again. After that, the ship is due for its dry dock service in China, so it will be floated into the dock will be sealed, all the water will be drained out. This allows maintenance to be carried out on things like the propellers, the thrusters, and the sea chest, and she'll also get a lovely new coat of Maersk Blue as well. That's a couple of months down the line yet, so unfortunately for me, I'll not be sticking around that long, which I'm not too disappointed about, to be honest. I'll be back in the pub. I met the man who has the worst job in the world last week. The company has a strict no drugs, alcohol, fun policy, so every so often you get randomly drug tested. So this guy gets on in China and has to collect 30 piss samples from all the crew to take back to the lab and test to see if anybody gets fired. I was asking him about how they test it. Not that I'm worried about the result, I am Mr. Teetotal healthy living at the moment. Eating properly, going to the gym every day. Nah, that's a lie. I tend to spend as much time as possible in bed. The working hours on board at the moment are 6 till 5, and it's absolutely destroyed me. Anyway, I was talking to the Chinese guy about piss testing, and he replied to me that he doesn't actually know. It's his job just to collect the piss samples and take them to the lab, and that's all he does. So there you go, piss collector. That is actually a job. Sticking at school, kids. Anyway, literally nothing has happened on board since I've joined, so I'm going to leave it there. Told you it was going to be disappointing. If anybody has any ideas or questions that they'd like me to do in a possible future video, if I can be bothered, stick them in the comment section down below. Until next time, if there is one, ciao.